Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May the 28th, 2024 meeting of the Florissant City Council. If you can all please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Ms. Goodwin, if you can, please poll
Sir.
the council.
Egan. Here. Caputa. Here. Shildroth.
Here.
O'Donnell. Here. Pagano. Parson.
Present.
Siam. Harris. Manganelli.
Here.
All right, thank you very much. Sounds like we have a quorum here today. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections, additions to the meeting minutes of, that can't be right, May 13th
5:13. Sorry. Yep.
of 2024?
Rough week.
All right. Hearing none, Councilman Siam moves to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and those minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue, not necessarily on the agenda, for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is over. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when the public hearing is announced. Looks like we have Mr. Daniel Broadus. If you can please come forward, state your city of residence.
Good evening. I live in the city of Florissant. I've been at my home address for 35 years. As of December 23rd, or December 2023, the Missouri Department of Revenue is owed more than $78 million in delinquent temporary tag fees. The courts are already on the books. Why aren't they being enforced, and do you have to wait on the state to step in? Speaking of DOJ, referencing temporary tags and other traffic spots, why is it that the adjoining counties are enforcing temporary tag stops, and Florissant PD is not? You have to wait for the state to step in? I realize the Obama DOJ won the debtor's prison lawsuit, but that should be a judicial problem, not a police problem. My wife and I have been residents in North County, like I say, since 1989, when we had our home built. In that era, Florissant was considered a very pleasant and safe city in which to live. There was traffic, yes, but people were, as a rule, were more courteous. Not so much today. Law enforcement seemed to be everywhere. Then aggressively enforcing the traffic and city codes. Residents rarely thought about or had home security systems or video systems installed. Today, people really feel the need. One can drive through almost any Florissant neighborhood and see code violations such as parking beside a fire hydrant, blocking a driveway, blocking a mailbox, parking across the sidewalk, or parked facing the wrong direction, or on the easement. There are lots of expired dealer tags on our streets. I personally had an experience several weeks ago. My wife and I observed a nice Chevy pickup truck with a license plate that was 5 years out of date, driving north on Lindbergh and Hazelwood toward Florissant. I got home and I texted the plate number, description of the truck, and also a description of the driver information to an officer I know. I was basically informed that there was nothing he would do about it. I mentioned, well, why don't you run the old plate and maybe find out where the person lives? And swing by to see the address and maybe see the truck. Nope. Then I was told that the PD wouldn't even try to stop the vehicle because they were afraid the vehicle might try and flee. Oh, please. You never know till you try. It was a no from the get-go, and there are new tools designed to photograph and identify speeders. There are new tools that can disable or stop a fleeing vehicle.
Thank you, Mr. Broadus.
Is that it?
Yeah, unfortunately, your
Okay,
3
you've
minutes
got
are
mine.
up. We
No,
do have your
Please read them,
documents.
please take heed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have any other citizen comments or hearings from citizens? I guess not. All right, next item on the agenda is communications, of which there are none. Then after that, we have the next item on the agenda is public hearings. This public hearing number 2404015. The petitioner is Tanya Hester. This public hearing was read and postponed to this date. Is the petitioner present? Can you please come forward?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. If you can, please tell us about your project. I know you were here several years ago during the pandemic, but can you restate it so we can go over it again, please?
Okay, so basically we have the strip mall at 3363 Parker Spur through 3335 Parker Spur. We're taking 2 spaces within Parker Spur to make it a restaurant and a cafe. On one side, we'll have the kitchen where people can actually walk up and order food, and on the other side, they'll be able to sit down and enjoy food. We also want to install a bar on the opposite side, which we did petition for a special use, but it expired because we didn't start work soon enough. So basically, we're back in front of you now, trying to get the special use permit so we can continue with the build-out on these 2 properties.
Okay. I know when you first came here, no, I'm sorry, this is part of Ward number 8, which is my ward. But I just have a couple questions about your project. When you first came here, you had some ideas about selling cigars. Is that still in the plans for you?
I'm not sure as of yet. We really need to get started on the build out before we decide everything that's going in. If I have to come back and amend, I will. But as of right now, I know for sure that we do intend on opening the kitchen and the bar and cafe.
Okay, but your plans haven't changed in terms of wanting people to smoke cigars there. You were just considering selling them.
Okay,
that's it.
so I thought we weren't able to have anyone smoking
No,
inside.
you're
It would
not.
literally just be the sales. So again, I'm not saying we're not going to do it, but in the same breath, I know we want to try to get it started to open up the cafe and the kitchen and the bar to get that going at least, and to complete the build out. That's why we're really here.
Okay. If you are considering selling the cigars, would you promise to, contact me and let me know that that's going to be in
No
your plans?
problem. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is that I know you have some hours that seem like they're pretty long hours. Can you explain what exactly your place is going to be doing during that time period?
So we basically, when I submitted it, we submitted it just to have a span of hours. When I was talking to, I believe it was Miss Irving, she was saying that basically it's not saying that we're going to be open all of those hours, but in the same breath, we want to kind of span it out, and we'll put our hours in there. But it would still be open. The kitchen would be open. It would still be a place for people to come and gather, sit, watch the game. Whatever it is they want to do, just hanging out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the hours. The hours pass, like I said, once it gets into the evening.
So is this going to be more like a sports bar, or is it more, because I thought, and I may be wrong, this was 3 years ago that you first came to us. I thought it was going to be like jazz music, just hanging out, drinking some coffee, eating some food, that sort of thing. Has that all changed since?
No, like I said, we plan on doing the exact same thing, except for the music part has changed, because I did read somewhere, I want to say in the last time I was here, with them saying that we can't do any like live bands or anything of that nature there. So it'll probably be more so a DJ playing music, or we'll have a music jukebox.
Okay. How many employees do you plan on having there?
I would say we would need at least 6 on the low end, maybe to about 8 on the high end.
Okay, you already have those people
Yes, we
hired?
do. Not hired, but we do have them.
You have
They're,
some
yeah,
people
they're
in
ready
mind.
to go, but
Okay.
yeah.
Is this a venture that you're doing solely by yourself, or,
No, it's me and also my brother,
okay, what's your brother's name?
Lorenzo Hester.
All right. Next, we have some questions from Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, welcome. I have one question about the hours. You were saying you never specifically said which hours you're going to be open.
Right, so basically, we do want to open at least by 10 a.m. because we want to be able to sell cafe items. And when I say cafe, we're talking like maybe pastries, sandwiches, coffees, teas. So we want to be able to serve those for people that just want to come in during the day, maybe to work from there or whatever, when people are not, when it's not like a space where people are coming and gathering and it's loud. So we want to be open during the day as well. And then in the evening, again, that's when we'll probably pick up with people getting off work, you know, getting food, probably sitting down, enjoying their evening. That's when we'll probably pick up. So we would say the evening hours will probably push over into maybe 11, 12. But I have not sat down and mapped out exactly what my hours will be. And it will depend on staff too, because we have to have the staffing to cover the hours as well.
Now, would days of the week, would you be open 7 days? 6
7 days.
7 days a week from the same time frame?
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Egan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Ms. Hester. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I got a few questions. You stated that Lorenzo Hester was involved in this project?
Yes.
So I checked him last time you were supposed to be here in our in-house on our computer, and he had there were a couple building code violations that were still open as of May the 7th. I tried checking tonight, but my computer won't fire up right. Is that for this property here, do you know?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure of the violations. And I honestly do manage the property as well. He does have other properties. And if there are violations, I would be aware of it. But anytime we get anything, we jump right on them.
Yeah, the last I saw, there was a continuance issued on May the 7th of '24. I don't know if it's been resolved yet or not, but I would...
Do you know what property it was for?
I don't have it here, and I'm having
Okay.
difficulty.
I'm sorry, but-
But we can check into that, this evening or tomorrow for sure. And
Yeah, and like I said, I've had recent business with Florissant as far as like doing inspections for residential properties.
Right.
And my rental license and my, the business license we have to carry to rent. Nobody's mentioned anything to me, but if it's something that's outstanding, like I said, I'll get it resolved, no problem.
Okay, very good, thank you. What type of cuisine do you plan on having at this?
We're looking at bar food right now. So we were looking at doing possibly soul food in the evening and during the day, and probably like right when we start picking up, we'll do like appetizers, bar food, and then later in the evening, stop the soul food, of course, because that takes a minute to prep, but we'll continue serving at least appetizers and bar food.
Do you plan on having a fully equipped industrial-style kitchen, or?
Yes.
Okay. I do share some concerns, as Mr. Caputa and Mr. Parson, about the hours of operation. I'll be very candid with you. When people come in front of us and say they want to run a restaurant and then they want to stay up till 1 o'clock, the first thing that comes to mind for me is this a nightclub in disguise?
No.
And I want to make sure that I'm comfortable that this is not going to be a nightclub in disguise. Because the first thing I see, I just saw the plans for this tonight. For some reason, they didn't get on our laptop, and I see on the plans I have right here, it says there's an event area. Explain that. That sounds nightclubish to me. And when you
Right.
talk about DJ, that sounds nightclubish to me.
That's just for someone to be able to basically to play music, to keep the music going, especially for the crowd that we're trying to bring in. So we're looking at an older crowd, or like I said, people just coming in to sit and listen to music, like I said, watch the game, TVs, things of that nature. The event space, it was initially labeled as an event space, but again, in speaking with Ms. Irving, she let me know that none of that is allowed. So
Right.
we did change the labeling on it so it would be represented as a restaurant cafe. And so the space that's an event space, I don't know if it's in the plans that you see, but there are tables. There's no dance floor, nothing of that nature. We're not putting in anything that would represent the party life for the night.
Right.
That's not what we're looking for. I don't want those problems either.
Okay. So then it's safe to say that you won't be doing things that nightclubs do, such as selling parking spots?
No.
You won't have reservations for tables and
No.
VIP clubs and minimum drink purchases and as such? And you understand that in order to do an entry fee for music and for entertainment, that you have to pay that's a special fee for that?
I didn't know, but I know now. But no, we didn't intend on doing any of that anyway. There's no entrance fee for it or anything like that. It's basically like your normal Applebee's, walk in, sit down.
Well, again, I'm going to reiterate that I'm very concerned about the hours of operation going till 1 a.m. And on the ordinance, there are 17 items under Section 1, and you've read that and you're familiar with all the things you can't do?
I do have it, I put it like this, I have it in my files, but no, it's not committed to memory, I will admit that.
Okay. But you have it in your file, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's all I have right now, Mr. President. I appreciate the time.
All right, thank you, Councilman Egan. Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. President. Most of my questions have been asked, but I do still have two. You said that you were going to have two entrances in, and one would be like a takeout area?
Right.
Okay. In the drawing, I didn't see any area where that
So-
would happen.
There's two addresses, 3343 and 3347. On the 3343 side, where the kitchen is located, that's where there should be a counter in the drawing to represent where they can order and pay for food, and it's a takeout situation where they don't have to come and sit down. But if they want to order on the other side, the kitchen will service the other side as well.
Okay. And then, looking at your drawing towards the back of the space, there's a large open area without tables. I used to get myself through college, I managed restaurants, and we would never have, you can see it right here, I got it circled.
Okay, we got to figure out what to put there, because the bathrooms are like directly across from that. And we
Yeah.
have to put the bathrooms, we have to make them ADA compliant, so we got to make them a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So we're not even sure how much space is going to be right there as of yet, because we have to get the bathrooms in. We haven't even got them in.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, like I said, I was just curious what your plans were for that area.
yeah, more likely it'll just be more tables. There's nothing else going in, except for, the only thing that's going in that I would say as far as entertainment are TVs. TVs and music, so speakers for music, that would be it.
Okay. Any 75-inch TVs?
I don't think the space not 75 inch.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No
That's
problem.
all I have, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Councilman Manganelli. I'm sorry, after hearing their questions, I got a few more
No problem.
follow-ups. I mean, you just mentioned the speakers for the music. There are several residences that are near where you are. Have you had any plans to make your space maybe soundproof so that it's not going to be a burden on the people that live in that area?
Definitely. I'm well aware of the residents that are directly behind us, behind that wooden fence. So it's not, like I said, we will be sure that the noise level doesn't come to a point where it disturbs the residents. And in the event it does, I promise you we'll rectify it as soon as we know.
Okay. And,
And we're not, and again, I'm not talking like big speakers. I'm more so in the ceiling type. Like I say, we want the music to be ambiance music. So where if we do have a DJ coming, he'll be able to plug in, he comes out of the speakers that are in the building. Not, like I said, I'm not talking about big boombox speakers. We're trying to create, like I said, just somewhere really pleasant for people to come, where the atmosphere is nice. We're not trying to make this something huge. It's just more so somewhere where people can kind of come and just chill out.
Okay. And to be honest, I'd prefer to have some more definite I guess, schedule
I
in
haven't
terms
even,
of
I
time?
honestly, I haven't even, the spot needs so much that I haven't even gotten to the exact what will go in, but I know I don't want huge speakers hanging. That just doesn't look good to me. So I know I don't want speakers like that. So we're not gonna do that, but in the same breath, I haven't even looked into equipment because, like I said, that space is, it needs a lot. It needs a lot before we start talking entertainment.
In terms of time, though, is there anything that you can say here today to bring a more definite
When you say
area of
time,
time, or are you strictly going to do the 1 p.m.? Is that your definite time? Because it sounds
oh,
like
is the
you
1
were
p.m. a definite time?
1 a.m.
1 a.m., I'm sorry, the 1 a.m., I'm not landing firm on that either. Like that, it will definitely be 1 a.m. because again, we have to have the staffing for that. So I have to make sure I can even staff to 1 a.m., which I may not be able to. So I would say if anything, if we're not 1 a.m., we're at least 11 or 12. And I feel like that's reasonable because anyone that works in the service industry, that's the time places normally close anyway, 11 or 12, and they're getting off of work, so.
Okay. One last thing, that area at Parker Spur and Parker Road seems to collect a lot of trash. Even I know you're not even open there yet, but then the community spends a lot of time and the city spends a lot of time cleaning up that area. Is that something that you would be able to assist? I don't know if you're going to have a lot of takeout containers and paper and all that kind of stuff. Will you be cleaning up your lot on a regular basis?
Definitely will be cleaning up the lot. That'll be part of the staff's responsibility to make sure that the lot stays clean as well. If you guys have a problem with trash, I believe all of my information is on file. If you give me a call, I'll get it cleaned up, no problem.
Okay. All right. Looks like Councilman Egan has a follow-up here.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, and I'll be brief. I guess I'm just a little concerned with, you've asked for some very broad hours, and it sounds like you've got a lot of stuff that you're still working through before you actually can get the plan in place. I would hope between now and 2 weeks when we have the second reading on this, maybe you can come back and give us an update on where you are as where you really think your hours are, because I'll be very candid with you, going to 1 a.m. in that residential area. I'm going to be honest, that scares me. I mean, I know that in Mr. Caputa's ward, there was a place that stays open late, and for a long time, they received a lot of complaints from the people who live behind there. I would hope you really think about that, and I would hope you think about, as Mr. Parsons says, about the size of your speakers and things like that. And we can always amend this ordinance, in 2 weeks, if you've had time to think about that and maybe come up with a better direction for what you want instead of saying, well, I want it all and I'm only planning on using a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So you want a better time frame for the hours,
I
and you want to
would.
know what the entertainment system is going to look like as far as the noise level. No problem.
Thank you so much. I have nothing more, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Egan. Seeing no further comments, Councilman Parson moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Caputa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, let me back up here a little bit. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? I guess not. See, I was jumping. I knew where we needed to go. Seeing no further comments, Councilman Parson moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Caputa. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? This public hearing is now closed. Thank you so much, Ms. Hester.
Thank you.
All right, public hearing number 2405017. Madam Clerk.
In accordance with Section 405-125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Tuesday, May 28, 2024, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to authorize a special use permit to Meats and More LLC to allow for a dine-in carry-out restaurant in the B3 Extensive Business District for the property located at 145 and 147 Flower Valley Shopping Center. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmore.com.
All right, is the petitioner present? If you can, come forward, sir.
How you guys
Can you
doing?
please- All right, can you please state your name and?
My name is Craig McCullough.
And you're from what area?
Meats and more.
Okay. If you can, please explain your project to us.
Well, we specialize in smoked turkey legs. That's what we'll be selling, but we also do pulled pork, hot dogs, ribs, pork steaks, chicken. It's pre-smoked, so what we do is warm it up. And that's basically what we'll be doing. Potato salad, mac and cheese, and all that type of deal. Greens, potatoes and onions, and all that type of stuff.
Okay. Councilman Siam has some questions for you.
Thank you, Mr. President. So it looks like you're taking up 2 commercial spaces at Flower Valley, is that correct?
Yes, they both was involved, yeah, 145 and 147.
Is there like a wall in between that you're going to be taking down or anything like that?
No, there's no wall. I guess they already busted it open. It's just a wide open
Okay.
space. One was dining, I guess, and one was kitchen.
Well, I looked at the floor plan. It says you're going to have 76 seats, but it looks really small for that. I mean,
It's a what now?
the floor plan said you're going to have 76 seats, but there's like a picture of 4 tables, and it looks really small.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that. So,
that was there before we got there.
Okay.
We have additionally put, I want to say at least around about 12 tables in there and some chairs. It doesn't fill up the entire space, but we're working on it.
Okay, so you can fit 12 tables in there. All right. And then, that's fine. And then I was going to ask, what are your hours of operation going to be?
I believe we're going to try to do something for as 10 to 8, maybe 7 days a week. If we could get a couple of days off, we'll probably do that as well.
Are you planning on having alcohol by any chance?
Yes, we did purchase a liquor license.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, have you applied for a liquor license here in the city of Florissant, or you
No,
saying
we have
somewhere
not.
somewhere? Okay, all right. Just
I
wanted to
think
make sure that was clear.
Debbie is the one suggested that, but my wife, she wanted one, so we're going for it.
Okay, all right. Councilman Egan.
Thank you, Mr. President. So my question is going to be along the same line as with the previous petitioner. You're going to have alcohol there,
Yes,
and are you going to have entertainment inside the building at all?
no plans for entertainment.
Okay, so there's no bands, no DJ, anything like that? Okay, very good. That makes it a lot easier. You said you're going to pre-smoke the food, so you're not going to have a full kitchen on site?
We have a full kitchen, but what I mean by pre-smoke, the food come in already pre-smoked. Mm-hmm. Like our smoked turkey leg, they come in pre-smoked. Our ribs come in pre-smoked. Chicken come in pre-smoked. All we do is just warm it up and add our seasoning to it.
Okay, so is that pre-smoked food that you smoke off-site, that you guys smoke, or you purchase?
No, these companies do it. We got a company called Amigos that does a lot of those type of products. They're out of Chicago. They get theirs from Minnesota, ship it to Chicago. We get it from Chicago and bring it here.
Okay, so you're not preparing it and bring it there. Someone else is preparing it, and you're jazzing it up a bit to say.
It's commercially pre-smoked out of Minnesota.
Okay. I have no further questions. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Egan. Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, Mr. McCulloch.
Thank you.
What is your role in the
Oh,
operation?
my role, my wifey, I'm sorry. my wife is the sole proprietor and I'm her husband.
Okay,
So I cook the meats and she cooks the sides.
I see. Her name is Miss Mitchell.
Miss Mitchell, yes.
Okay,
How-
I get it now. Just
Well, I got to stop there. We've been married 6 years, so
Yeah, Mrs.
it's Miss McCullough now.
Miss McCulloch. All right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah.
All right.
Anything further, Councilman Harris?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
That's-
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. All my questions have been answered, except for, I just want to touch real quick on the liquor. Are you doing full liquor or just beer and wine?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think we're going to start out with some coolers, wine coolers, and beer, and just go from there. We just go accustomed to the customers, Whatever they want, we'll do.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot. Good luck.
All right, thank you, Councilman Manganelli. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? All right, seeing no further comments, Councilman Cyan moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Harris. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, that motion is carried and this public hearing is closed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I have one thing. My wife prepared some samples. So if you guys get hungry later on, we got some for you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right. The next item on the agenda is old business. The first item is bills for second reading. We have bill number 9977. Councilman Parson moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Harris. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to special use permit number 8010 for Rojo Incorporated DBA Miami Grill to allow for exterior modifications for the property located at 12925 New Halls Ferry Road.
Councilman Parson moves for third reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Madam Clerk.
Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Ordinance authorizing an amendment to special use permit number 8010 for Rojo Incorporated DBA Miami Grill to allow for exterior modifications for the property located at 12925 New Halls Ferry Road.
All right, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? All right, hearing none, clerk, can you please poll the council?
Yes, sir. Egan. Aye. Caputa. Yes. Shildroth. Yes. O'Donnell. Yes. Pagano. Yes. Parson.
Yes.
Cyan. Yes. Harris. Yes. Manganelli.
Yes. All right, bill number 9977 passes and becomes ordinance number 8981. All right, the next item on the agenda is new business. The first item under new business is board appointments. Mayor?
Thank you. I wish to appoint Jeanette Wansing from Ward 8 to the Diversity and Inclusion Commission.
All right, I'm sorry. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, the appointment is made.
Thank you, that's all.
All right, Councilman O'Donnell.
I'm sorry, my light is not working. Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to reappoint Gary Theme to the Landmark and Historic Commission.
That, all those in being properly moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The appointment is made. All right, the next item on the agenda is requests. Councilman O'Donnell moves to approve the request for a permit to keep 4 chickens for Andrea and David Halfman, located at 2065 St. Catherine. That is seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carried. Next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 1059. Madam Clerk.
Resolution of the City of Florissant, Missouri, stating intent to seek funding through the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program and authorizing the mayor to pursue activities in attempt to secure funding and identifying project manager.
All right, Councilman Manganelli moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Yes, sir.
Is a resolution of the City of Florissant, Missouri, stating intent to seek funding through the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program and authorizing the mayor to pursue activities in attempt to secure funding and identifying a project manager.
Councilwoman Pagano moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Shildroth. Roll call vote, please.
Egan. Yes. Caputa. Yes. Shildroth. Yes. O'Donnell. Yes. Pagano. Parson.
Yes.
Cyan. Yes. Harris. Yes. Manganelli. Yes. A A resolution of the City of Florissant, Missouri stating intent to seek funding through the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program and authorizing the mayor to pursue activities in an attempt to secure funding and identifying project manager.
All right, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? All right, hearing none, clerk, can you please poll the council for the final vote?
Yes, sir. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Cyan? Yes. Harris? Yes. Manganelli?
All right, resolution number 1059 passes. The next item on the agenda is bills for first reading. We have bill number 9975. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit for Tanya Hester, DBA Cafe NoCo, to allow for a restaurant in B1 local shopping district for the property located at 3343 Parker Spur Road.
Bill number 9979.
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to Meats and More LLC to allow for a dine-in carry-out restaurant in a B3 extensive business district for the property located at 145 and 147 Flower Valley Shopping Center.
All right, the next item on the agenda is council announcements. Have anybody make an announcement today? No, I guess I will then. I will say that this weekend I had the honor of attending and speaking at the Memorial Day ceremony yesterday morning. I believe it was well attended. The VFW Post and American Legion, the Boy Scouts, and the Florissant Police Department all did an excellent job in putting on that ceremony, so I was glad to attend. Also, I had the opportunity to take my family to the Coke pool over the weekend. We really enjoyed it. I think it's a nice facility. I don't think anybody should, be judging it before they actually go see it. My favorite part, of course, was the lazy river. Not because it describes me, but that was my favorite part. But anyway, let's move on to Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I would like to say keep your firearms secured. Over last week, there was a firearm that was stolen out of a vehicle. And then when there was an unsecured firearm stolen out of a vehicle, the police were doing their normal routines throughout the neighborhoods, and they observed some individuals trying to look through cars. They stopped it, arrested the individuals, and the individual had one of them pistols on him that was stolen. So, please, citizens, keep them firearms secured. Be responsible firearm owner or don't own one at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Caputa. Seeing no more announcements, now we have a message from our mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So tomorrow night is our first Wednesday night out. It's May 29th from 6 to 9 in the 400 block of St. Francis in the VFW parking lot. At 5:30, we're going to do dedicating a plaque in honor of Dr. Joe Quick. So please attend that event, and it's always well attended. So the City of Florissant and the Veterans Coalition is going to host a flag retirement ceremony on Saturday, June the 8th, here at the City Hall on the front lawn, starting at 9 a.m. And the only other one I had was Councilman Parson already announced or spoke about the Coke pool. And obviously last Thursday we had a ribbon cutting ceremony there. It went really well, and I think we had a great first weekend at the pool. And I think, like Councilman Parsons stated, I mean, it's a beautiful pool. It's a great amenity to the City of Florissant, and hopefully that's what brings people here. So I really appreciate the council committee that worked on that, and certainly everybody that voted for the pools. And I really think once you go out there, you realize that they won't disappoint you. It's a great amenity to the city. Thank you.
All right, well said, Mayor. The next regular meeting for the City Council will be on Monday, June the 10th at 7 p.m. Councilwoman Pagano moves to adjourn the regular meeting, seconded by Councilman Harris. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? This meeting is adjourned.